Hello scholars, today is Word Problem Wednesday again and I'm so excited to share with you the problem that we have to do today. Remember, we read our problem 3 times or we use cubes to make sure that we can understand the problem and label it before we start solving. And the main reason we do that is so we can decide if we need to add or subtract. So let's go ahead and do the first read. In the first read, we make sure we pay attention to the verbs or action words and we draw a visual in our first box. So we are trying to decide what is happening in this math story. And we don't read the values or numbers yet. We kind of ignore them because they don't matter to figuring out what is happening. They will definitely matter when we go to solve a problem later. Aaron has some blocks. I stop when I understand one thing that's happening and I just draw it in my visual. Usually that's at a punctuation mark. So I say Aaron has some blocks and Muhammad has some blocks. Okay, there's Aaron, there's Muhammad. They've got blocks. I don't take a lot of time on my drawing because I'm just trying to quickly get an idea of what's going on. Okay, they give away some blocks. That means both of them together give some away. So both of them together give some of their blocks away. I'm just imagining probably to another person. Okay. I like to draw that arrow to show that the blocks are going away. That helps me think about how usually if we're giving away something or taking away something, that usually it's subtraction. And then I don't read the question yet because it's not going to help me with figuring out what's going on in the situation. I did step number 1 and moving on to step number 2. Here's where I label the problem. So if you're in Miss R's class and you know a lot of the cubes rules, make sure you use that to label. I'm going to read it over and put any synonyms for words that I know inside of this story, this math story, or I might also put some words about like if I'm getting more or less that can help me decide if I'm going to add or subtract. Aaron has some blocks. Okay, I'm imagining they're like rectangular blocks, but it doesn't really matter to helping me solve, but I'm just building up my imagination to imagine the situation. And Muhammad has some blocks. Okay, he's got blocks. They give away some blocks. Okay, so to give away is not to sell. When you give something away, it's more like you're donating something. You're giving it for free to someone. And if they're giving it away, that means they're going to end up with less blocks. And whenever I end up with a smaller number or less, I think about how that we would need to subtract. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to talk to myself. I'm going to say it over. Aaron has some maybe rectangular blocks and Mohammed also has some. They donate some blocks to someone else and that means they end up with less blocks. Now I am on number 3. I read it the second time. I'm sure of what's happening, and now I'm going to add the numbers and values to my visual and finally decide if I'm adding or subtracting by reading the question as well. Aaron has 62 blocks and Mohammed has 37 blocks. Okay, they give away 75 blocks. So the 75 is going by the arrow because those 75 are leaving them. Okay, how many blocks do they have left? To know that, I have to first understand how many they have before I can know how many they have left. But I don't know how many they have altogether yet. I know how many Aaron has. I know how many Muhammad has. What I see is that this problem is more than one step. I have to first figure out how much they have together, which means I am taking 62 as one part and 37 as the other part and adding them up to find my whole. And then I also need to understand, okay, if I have that whole, which I don't know yet, and I take out 75 blocks, how many are going to be left? Okay, so I'm not able to do the subtraction that this problem asks me to by saying the word left. I'm not able to do that yet because I don't know how many they have altogether. So that's why my first step is to add. My next step is to subtract. So I like to put that there to help myself remember. So let's go ahead and start with my strategy number 1. Okay, strategy number 1. First of all, my step 1 is to add those two numbers together. So let me write this equation. I'm going to say 62 plus 37 equals, okay, and what I do know how to do is my number bond way, and I actually really like doing that. So I'm going to take these two numbers and pull them apart into their tens and their ones values. So this is 62, which is 60 and 2. This is 37, which is the same as 30 and 7. And then I put my tens back together. 60 and 30 make 90, and my ones back together. 7 and 2 more is 9. Awesome. Okay, now it's a much easier number sentence. I know 90 and 9 makes 99. So I know that together, Aaron and Mohammed have 99 blocks. Okay, but I still haven't answered my question yet, so I need to do the second step because it asks me how many blocks do they have left? Well, now I know they have 99 to start, and they gave away 75. Okay, so my new equation is going to be 99 blocks and giving away 75 blocks equals, okay, so now I'd like to solve using the same strategy if I can. Let me see, let's try that. So I have 90 and 9, and then with 75, that's the same as 70 and 5. Okay, but instead of adding them all up together, I have to make new equations where I subtract them, the tens and the ones. So I'm going to say 90 minus 70. That's my first equation. Okay, well that's the same as like 9 minus 7. 9 tens minus 7 tens. That's how I like to think of it. So that's just 2 tens. So it's going to be 20. Okay, and then I still have to do 9 minus 5. So I say 9, running out of room here, minus 5 equals, I know 9 take away 5 is the same as thinking like 5 and how many make 9? That's 4. Oh wow, okay. So here's what I'm left with. I'm left with 20, 2 tens, and then I'm also left with 4. So 20 and 4 makes 24. So now I've done both steps with the number bond strategy. I'm going to start writing those strategy names out here so you can look at those and think of what strategy you would like to use. Now, we're going to come down and prove my answer with a second strategy. So I say strategy number 2. Okay. For strategy number 2, I'd really like, let's think. I know my number line. I know my place value chart. We've been practicing that so much this week. I think we're going to go ahead and explore the place value chart because we've practiced it so much and we're used to it this week. So for number 1, I'm going to rewrite my equation. This is how many blocks they had all together. So we have to add up 62 and 37. My hundreds place, tens place, and ones place. Okay, I'm going to use 2 different colors to really make it stand out. So let's do 62 first, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. There we go. 6 tens. 2 ones, 61, 62. Okay, then I'm going to draw my second number underneath that in a different color. 37. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. Okay, now I'm ready to count them all together. So I go, okay, this makes 4. This right here makes 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Oh, I must have done something wrong. What was I doing when I was counting these? That doesn't match. I need to find a mistake. I really like the way that I did this strategy. I'm going to recount my dots. 62, 30. What was I thinking? I have to do 37 and I only have 2. I must have been thinking of that number. Whoops, that's why it's a good idea for me to recount and be precise. So 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. There we go. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Should be 99. That's so much better. Now it does match. Whew. I'm glad that I was able to look back and say, wait a minute, there's something weird about that. Let me recount. Okay, now we have our second part. Just like last time, it's subtraction. So I'm going to take 99, which is how many blocks they had together. They gave away 75. How many are left? I don't know. Let's make sure that it's 24 like I thought. So in my place value chart with my hundreds place, tens place, and ones place, I'm going to go, you see that? Okay, good. 99 minus 75. Okay, let's start with 99. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Maybe I should make my tens place a little bigger. 60, 70, 80, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. All right, now I remember that when I'm subtracting, I don't put that number in because I'm not putting them together. I need to cross the second number out. So I'm going to start in the ones always. Can I take away 5 ones? Yes, I can. I put them in a row right here. How nice. That's 5 ones. Goodbye. Okay, and I'm going to take away 7 tens. 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's count what's left. I have 4 ones and 2 tens. Aha, yes. They match my answers. They must have 24 blocks left. So now I know exactly what I need to write when I go to write my explanation. Okay, in my explanation, I'm going to write the answer to this question by restating part of the question. They have, and then I use my answer that I found, 24 blocks left. Let's see, I know this because together I found out that they have 99 blocks by putting together 60 and 30, and which makes 90, and 2 and 7, which makes 9. In all, that is 99 blocks. Then I took out 7 tens and 5 ones from 99 to show that they gave away 75 blocks. That made 24 blocks that were left. All right, so I clearly have stated my answer, and then I made sure to explain the 2 steps that I took to get to it. Well, you can barely see that. So basically, scholars, what I'd really like you to work on this week is making sure that you have a solid 2 strategies. Miss R and I have seen in some of your work that you definitely are able to come to the answer, but we really want to know, can you show us how you got to it? That is so important for you as a mathematician. If you do math in the future and people you work with are like, man, how'd you get that answer? And you're like, oh, I just got it in my head. People are going to be like, well, I don't believe you. I need you to show me. I need you to walk me through it. What did you do to get there? So make sure you're justifying your answer. I can't wait to see all the awesome work you do.